In this video, we're going to talk about the topic, the relationship between agriculture and global warming and the problems caused by agriculture. Starting with greenhouse effect, which is affecting the global warming. Greenhouse effect is the trapping of the heat, like greenhouse gas or carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and trapping the heat. They form like a blanket around the earth and trap the heat and making the earth warmer. But global warming is humans are producing too much carbon dioxide, too much greenhouse gases, and too much heat being trapped. So that's global warming. So the relationship between the global warming and the agriculture. Global warming causes natural disasters to really happen more frequently, like flood, drought, and wildfires, which ruins the agricultures. There may be a little bit of good thing in global warming is lengthens the farming season, which gives us more food. But then in the long run, it's still agriculture. You're getting more cows, which means getting more methane into the atmosphere. That's more carbon dioxide, and the more carbon dioxide, more hotter the global warming goes. So there's a cycle. Global warming, natural disaster, ruins the agriculture, but then agriculture is still making more carbon dioxide, contributing to the global warming.
If we continue practicing agriculture as it is right now, only problems await us in the future, such as droughts and heat waves. Particularly with droughts, that only poses as a problem to farmers when they produce food, and that translates to food prices going up. Droughts also bring about the question of water conservation and the role of government. Most noticeably with Governor Jerry Brown, he's well associated with finding people lots of money for excessive water use. Agriculture makes its name as being one of the biggest culprits alongside the automobile industry and the fossil fuel industry as contributing to the greenhouse gas crisis that we have today. And get this, 18% of all greenhouse gas emissions connected with human activity, 18% of that comes from livestock production. Furthermore, methane is 23% times more potent than CO2 in being a greenhouse gas. And one more thing, one molecule of nitrous oxide is equivalent to 300 CO2 molecules in the atmosphere. A specific case of legislative attention has been given in 2006 with California passing Assembly Bill 32, which aimed to reduce CO2 levels in the atmosphere by 15%. And they aimed that by 2020, CO2 levels would be equal to what they were in 1990.
There are communities out there where consumers communicate and support their local farmers and farmers markets. If this can be enacted on a wider scale, we can save more food, more surplus, and cut down on more waste. The less cows, the less greenhouse gas. Farmers will have to have a financial safety net because they'll be less engaged in agriculture, so their subsidies will be provided in tax dollars. By convincing more people to become vegetarians, it will educate consumers about beef production's role in global warming. By boycotting the meat industry, it will be known that the meat industry is no longer profitable, and farmers will have to abandon it, preventing methane emissions. Humans will have to be more engaged in their economy and making sure they stop food waste. The government will also play a bigger role. With the fall of the meat industry, consumers will have to choose healthier alternatives, therefore lowering their cholesterol.
There are many ways we could help to reduce the global warming in our daily life. For example, we could reduce the time of showering and using the hot waters.
This saves energy and reduces the emissions of greenhouse gases.
Another way to minimize the effects of global warming is to recycle them, mostly papers and plastics. If you recycled half of the waste your house produced, you could save 2,400 pounds of carbon dioxide from being released in the atmosphere. Do your part today.
Do your part.
Do your part.
Press some piles. Yay!